Hey guys, I think I'm gonna recap some shows that I might have seen during the summer, but I just wasn't able to do the review because of some circumstances, and also some new, TV reviews too. So this is all for TV, and let's get started. All right, Preacher season 1. I really dug Preacher. It kind of took me a few episodes to get into it, to be completely honest, but once I got into it, I was hooked, and I really liked the show. I definitely love how it tackles religion, tackles the idea of God, and how we do things to kind of make this belief persist and all. I like how they tackle the different religious elements too, with angels, hell. I like how they did all of it. And I thought the acting is pretty good, and the directing is good too. I just like how the themes of it, and that's really what struck a chord with me. And so for that, I have to give the show a B+. I'm gonna give it a 3.8 out of 5. Definitely think you should check it out if you haven't. And I think it's one of those movies or TV shows that were very anticipated, but it definitely turned out to live up to the hype. So that's always good news for that. I'm curious to see what they do with season 2. Haven't read the comics, so we'll see. Stranger Things season 1. I think that they renewed season 2, I believe, recently. But season 1, I was really kind of looking forward to it. I didn't really know much about it. I just kind of heard some buzz from the trailer. I saw the trailer and I kind of got this weird 80s vibe, and so I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I checked it out, and the moment that I heard that theme music, I was hooked. I love, the 80s Simpsons and all that stuff. I love that theme music. I'm kind of a big fan of soundtracks now, so I have to get this soundtrack soon. But this TV show is pretty much like if Steven Spielberg met Stephen King. Get the family, Steven Spielberg type of stuff that you get in his movies. Then you kind of get the grotesque and weird situations with the Stephen King thing. So I really thought that this was a really good tribute to the 80s films. Kind of reminded me of the Goonies, E.T., I guess Super 8, even though that came out a few years ago and that was inspired by the 80s movies. But it was like that. It kind of reminded me of Stand By Me too. Things like that. You get a group of guys that's pretty much trying to hunt down something or just have a good relationship, and something kind of happens and you're in it. But I really like this. It kept me engaged and hooked. I really believe their relationship. They had great chemistry. The whole thing with the sister and the jock and the weird computer dude, I really liked him too. I really thought that whole thing was pretty cool and different. You don't really see that nowadays, where you see the hot girl kind of messing with the weirdo. So I really think it's kind of throwback to the 80s, like I said. Kind of curious to see what they do with season 2. I really like season 1. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. That's an A. I really do think you should check it out if you can. I really enjoyed it, man. It was just really fun. I mean, I think I finished it in like 2 days too. So that's the Animal Kingdom. This is a TV show that I kept seeing the trailer every time I was on YouTube. So I was kind of interested to see this thing, and it really kept my attention, to be honest. I always wanted to see what was going to happen next, just for the simple fact that you follow this guy Jay, and he's living with his grandmother and uncles, and they're not really the nicest people. They do bank robberies and all that stuff, and he's kind of thrown into the mix. So it's really about his relationship with his family and all, and getting adapted to this whole situation, and how he's kind of thrust into it. But you can tell he doesn't really want to, and then you have all these other things that's kind of pulling him away and pushing him into it. So I really like that atmosphere. I thought the lady that played Smurf was really, really good. I think she was the best part of the show. It really kept me engaged. I didn't really know what she was going to do next, and she was a really nice mastermind. Her relationship with her sons, though, that was kind of weird. I didn't know if there was some incestual type stuff going on here, or it was just kind of weird. But it worked though, because you didn't really know. They never said flat out that something happened while they were kids and all, but you just kind of get the vibe that maybe she's manipulating them in a certain way to get what she wants, and it's always been like that, and they don't have a problem with it. I'm really curious to see what they do with season 2, if there is a season 2. I'm not sure if it's renewed, but if there's not a season 2, I like how it ended. I thought that was a great shot to show the dichotomy and the dynamic between Jay and his family, his new family. So I really thought that was cool, and I'm really into this show. I'm giving this show a B. I'm giving it a 3.6 out of 5. Like I said, check it out. I think it came out on I want to say TNT, so TNT, they definitely have a show, in my opinion, and I think you should check it out if you haven't. Alright, Queen of the South. Now, I've been following this show. I've been wanting to see this show for the longest time. I think it debuted in like late June or so. Basically, you follow around this girl, Teresa, who is pretty much, she's into the drug game. You know, her boyfriend gets killed, and so she gets captured, and she has to work for the big boss lady and all. You've seen this before. Big boss lady kind of reminded me of like a Griselda Blanco type of character. At least I think she was inspired by her, because she kind of seems like that. And with, you know, Teresa working for her, the boss lady kind of has some weird relationship with her husband, so you don't really know how that's going to work out. So you basically just rooting for Teresa to survive. And it's really cool. I will say though, sometimes I would forget that the TV show would come on. So it was really hard for me to, you know, catch up. And that's not really a good sign if I forget that your TV show is coming on. Some episodes were better than others. The acting is okay. I just feel like this show has a lot of potential, and I think that's why I kept watching it personally. I feel like, you know, this season it's okay. I wanted to see more. It didn't really live up to what I saw in my head. I think in my head I kind of saw like Narcos with females and stuff, but it's kind of like a subpar version of that. And I really feel like this show could have been a lot better. So I'm giving this a C+, 2.8 out of 5. It has been renewed for a second season. I'm definitely gonna check it out, and I definitely hope that they improve. I definitely see where this can go. Narcos season 2. I saw season 1. I didn't do a review of it for some reason, but season 2, I was really hyped up for this show. You know, I was a big fan of season 1, and I really liked how they made Pablo Escobar feel more personal in this one. You really get to see his, you know, dynamic with his family. You get to see how he, you know, has a relationship with his little workers and stuff. In fact, you see a character arc of one worker who's kind of not involved in it at all, and just kind of just happens to be thrust into it. Then, you know, later on he's willing to die for the guy. So it really shows how much power that this guy has. People just want to work for him just for the simple fact that he's Pablo Escobar. Even though, you know, it kind of picks up right after season 1 when he escapes from the prison. And so basically for the whole season, he's on the run, you know, trying to hide. I do feel like after a while though, you kind of see the same things over and over. You see his relationship with, you know, his workers. You get to see him play with his kids, and then his workers will say somebody died. Then, you know, a few episodes later, the house would get, you know, ran inside or whatever with the SWAT team and all. They would have to run away, and they would have to reestablish that's a new place. This kind of felt repeatable and all that stuff. But for the most part, I really did like the TV show Narcos. I really felt that if you like season 1, you should definitely like it here. There are subtitles like how it was in season 1, a lot of, you know, Spanish and all. I think the actor that played Pablo Escobar is really good too. I think he deserves, you know, an Emmy nomination or so. I think he is nominated for the Emmys this year, but next year he deserves it too. So I definitely just want to see where they go with this, because it has been renewed for season 3 and season 4. Even though I personally feel like instead of picking up where it left off, they should just, you know, do it with a whole different drug lord like Griselda Blanco or anybody else that was, you know, incorporated into this whole cocaine drug thing, because this, you know, era was pretty much a 20 or 30 year time period. There's a lot of stories you can, you know, fill in there. So I wish it would focus on a different drug lord that was known, that was, you know, doing his, you know, I guess thing back then. But I'm kind of curious to see what they do. Like I said, I like season 2 of Narcos. I'm giving it an A-. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It's just repeatable. I think the second season kind of does what the first season missed better, but I think the first season kind of has a better story, if that makes sense. You kind of grow with the rise of Pablo, like how you do in a Martin Scorsese movie. Where here you're kind of just like, okay, we've seen this before. Mr. Robots! Now, all I saw of season 1, I did a review of that, and I really liked it. I really like how it tackled the themes of technology, you know, the cyberpunk, how, you know, security, checking over ourselves. You know, I like how it's an unreliable narrator. And you get the same exact stuff here for the most part. It kind of picks up after, you know, season 1. The first few episodes, you know, you have this thing going on, you get to see a little repetition and all. I really like that. You really, you know, feel the mind of Elliot, and you really understand what he's trying to do. But there's this one part where everything just turns, kind of like how it did in season 1. You if you know what I'm talking about. And I did not see that coming at all. In fact, my coworker kind of predicted it, but I was like, I don't know. But then, I guess if you really paid attention, the turn that happens isn't really anything new for the most part. So I really thought that was really cool, and I like how it picked up afterwards with the turn. I just kind of felt that after the turn, it kind of went downhill slightly for me. I guess because the mystery was revealed. So instead of me trying to figure out, is this, really happening or not, I just was like, oh, okay. But I am curious to see what they do season 3. I kind of feel like this one ended on a much different note than season 1. It's kind of more of a downer, I would say. But I'm really curious to see what they do. And I really did like this, season. I really think that it might be better than season 1, but I don't know. I just liked it. I'm giving it an A. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. That's my wrap up for the summer TV shows that I've been seeing for the past few weeks or so. I just want to get your thoughts. What did you think of all the TV shows that I just listed? Did you follow any of them? Did you like how any of them ended? How do you think, if there was continued, how do you think they would be, continued and renewed for the next season? If you want to hit the like button for this video, you want to hit the subscribe button for this channel, and you want to join the quest.